Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
So as WWE transitions its gigantic content library from the WWE Network over to Peacock, you'd imagine that some things might just get lost in the shuffle. Like if Music Power 10 in Camp WWE happened to fall off the back of a truck, is anyone gonna mind? But fans have been noticing that some scenes and moments from the franchise's history have been edited out of the content that has already made the transition. So we're saying that Peacock doesn't have a pause button, but it does have a delete. It's good to know. This includes moments that, shall we say, straddled the line of controversy. By which I mean took one great big hoofing step over the line, then turned back and winked at us. And it turns out that Peacock has been quietly deleting some of these scenes, including Roddy Piper doing half blackface against Bad News Brown at WrestleMania 6, and Vince McMahon saying the N-word during Survivor Series 2005. According to sources familiar with the situation, the streaming service is reportedly reviewing all 17,000 hours of WWE content to make sure that it lines up with Peacock's standards and practices. That poor quality control person. If you thought watching Raw weekly was bad, this could basically be a new form of torture. I'll tell you anything. Please don't make me watch Lashley's sisters. Now, WWE is reportedly being made aware of any edits to its older programming, and according to Fightful, the moments in question are still available to watch on the WWE Network. Now, if you could delete one WWE moment from history, what would it be? And why? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, Fastlane saw the return of the Fiend Extra Crispy edition, who appeared to give Orton a good old spooking. Now, one of the things we discussed a few times about the feud on podcasts and reactions is how it's kind of weird that Orton is a heel in this feud when the Fiend is there as this literal monster. And that might be because WWE sees the Fiend as the babyface in this storyline. According to Twitter users who say they were part of the Thunderdome audience at Fastlane and Raw, the host said nothing during that segment at the pay-per-view. On Raw this week, the host wanted big boos for Randy Orton and nothing until the show went off the air. And trying to burn Alexa Bliss on live TV will get you that. Now, I think it's worth saying that not booing the Fiend doesn't automatically make him the babyface here, because he and Alexa have tormented Randy with those black goo baths and fireballs and wife troubles for a while now, but it definitely does paint this feud as comeuppance for a naughty Orton and gives a little bit of a sympathetic air to the Fiend and Bliss. Now, someone else I have a lot of sympathy for is WrestleTalk favourite Keith Lee, who's been missing from WWE TV since just before Elimination Chamber. Now, you may remember that Lee was set to be included in the triple threat match against Bobby Lashley and Riddle for the US title, but was replaced by John Morrison. Now, Lee was said not to be cleared at the time, and Fightful Select are now reporting that this issue is ongoing. Lee's current absence is said to be related to a health issue, and he has still not been medically cleared. He is actively trying to get himself ready to go, but following tests, he still hasn't been cleared as of yet. I'm wishing you a speedy recovery, Keith, and I can't wait to see you back. Now, after a stellar show-stealing performance at Fastlane that made a lot of people go, Daniel Bryan's a very good wrestler, isn't he? And made a great case for a triple threat at WrestleMania that I didn't know I wanted, but now I won't rule it out and I quite want it to happen now. It feels like D-Bry is back to the height of his powers in WWE. So it seems like Bryan has a very difficult choice to make, as he has spoken many times about his current WWE contract coming to an end soon, and he now needs to make a choice about how he wants to continue in WWE, if at all. Because he's floated in previous interviews this idea of going down a more part-time role so he can spend time with his family. But in an interview with TalkSport and Wrestling Daily's King Egg Alex McCarthy, he said that while he wants to spend more time with the famalam, he also wants to provide financially too. He added, it's really just an evaluation of what's important to me. Going out and doing this thing that I love every week, but being away from my family, being away from my wife and kids 3 days a week, and they're at this stage that you don't ever get back. He's a man torn between his love for pro wrestling and the love for his family, as anyone who has to watch wrestling at 2 a.m. in the morning in the UK would understand. He went on to say, what do you love personally, but also what's the most important thing? That's the struggle that I'm dealing with right now. What's more important? Wrestling, Bryan. For us, do the wrestling. For us, continue. In the interview, Bryan also touched on his match with Brock Lesnar from Survivor Series 2018, saying that he wanted the match for a long time, but had envisioned it as yes man Daniel Bryan rather than the planet's champion. Unsurprisingly, this was a really great match. It got 4.5 stars from Meltzer, and Bryan told Alex, "I don't think anybody appreciates how great Brock Lesnar is and the mind that he brings to wrestling." He said Brock's character of sort of not really caring about the wrestling is not really true at all. He said Brock Lesnar loves this. He just also loves farming, loves being at home, and he's not going to do it because he likes doing it. He's going to do it because, hey, you need to pay me to put my body on the line. That sort of thing, right? But his eyes light up when he does this. Look at his little face when he did the little jig with the Money in the Bank briefcase. He loves it. In other news, there's some good news for WWE fans in Ireland because WWE has announced a new partnership with Virgin Media Television. This means that for the first time in Ireland, Raw and SmackDown highlights are going to air on TV. It's going to be a 1-hour cut-down show on Saturday and Sunday mornings on Virgin Media 2, and I cannot stop thinking about that 1-hour version of Raw. It sounds dreamy. Now, after good showings on Dark and Dynamite, including the mixed tag match with Cody Rhodes, Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill, Red Velvet has managed to stir herself up a new contract with the company. Executive Vice President Cody Rhodes announced on Twitter that Red stepped up in a huge way. Tony Khan saw what over 1 million people saw that night and upgraded her contract. She's now all elite. She's all elite now. That's the way it was written. Sorry, I'm tired. Not to be outdone though, because NXT have also done a signing. It seems WWE have been making more of an effort to sign more women lately to their company, with their latest class of Performance Center recruits having the most women out of any class previously, including former Impact Knockouts champion Taya Valkyrie, as well as making big signings such as Meiko Satomura, who recently joined NXT UK. And it seems another has joined their ranks as Stardom and Rev Pro standout Bobby Tyler has changed all of her social media profiles to reflect what seems like a WWE signing. Because the 24-year-old has changed her username on Twitter to Stevie Turner WWE, which I guess is just sort of the discount name version of Bobby Tyler, isn't it? Stevie Nicks, Bonnie Tyler. Her finish is absolutely going to be the Edge of 17, isn't it? And with NXT now having its own women's tag team belts, the more women that can make their way to its stacked women's division, the better, so they can avoid running rematches for the belts, which they have already started doing to some degree. Now, with the Wednesday Night Wars seemingly coming to a close after WrestleMania, with NXT reportedly set to move to Tuesday nights, the final couple of weeks remain of conflict in the viewership figures, and the ones for this week's episodes are now in. Featuring the contract signing between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and an intense promo segment between Finn Balor and Karrion Kross, NXT managed to pull in 678,000 average viewers with a .17 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. Now, this is a big increase from last week's 597,000 viewers, and the card for the two-night NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver took shape on this show, and it's now looking bloody marvellous. Meanwhile, over in AEW, their episode featured the main event of John Silver versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship and managed to pull in an average of 757,000 viewers, which is a slight decrease from last week's 768,000 with a .42 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. With NXT set to move to Tuesdays after WrestleMania, what does that mean for Impact Wrestling, which already airs on Tuesdays? Well, it was announced by Impact themselves, so they're not going to try to compete with NXT, and instead they're going to be moving back to Thursday night starting on April the 8th. This means that for the first week they'll be competing with the second night of NXT TakeOver. However, going forward, this could greatly benefit them with their relationship with AEW, as AEW can then push people to watch them the following night instead of telling them to wait until next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. Adam is back with more fantasy booking. This time he's booking John Cena's final run in WWE. How would he have retired him? You can find out by pressing the video to the right now and watching that on Parts of Unknown. Subscribe there while you're at it. Or you can press the video below that to find out more about Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton having heat about their Fastlane match finish. Subscribe here for daily wrestling news videos. I have been Al Fakador, yeah, jam that champion. Jam that jam.